we click on Solver and we get a dialog, okay, that allows us to build this. So first we need to set the objective. So in our case, our objective, we go to this cell here, it's this one, okay? In the case I'm using F6 is the cell I want to maximize. Actually, I have to select this option, which is max, to let the solver know that I want to maximize that value. Next, I need to tell solver the variables it has to use. What are those cells it can change to get the maximum value for the objective? In our case, those cells are this here, okay? And finally, there's only one constraint I have to impose, and I'm going to add using this button here, add button. And I can impose different constraints. I can use less or equal than, equal or larger or equal than, and I can impose some other constraints like having integer variables, binary variables, or making variables different from each other, although this is not linear. Okay, I'm going to use only these ones here. In particular, I'm only going to use this one for this specific case. So I'm going to say, or to tell Excel, that these cells here, the time I need, is less or equal than the capacity we have. So since I'm using a range here and a range to my right, it's comparing every single item, every single cell of the range, and it's imposing that this 12 or whatever value we have here is less or equal than 2000, and the same with the other through the two values for consumption and resource capacity. So I accept that, and I have everything formulated. I'm leaving this check active, which imposes that if I don't say anything, all variables I'm using are non-negative, which is something we require from our linear programming model. And I'm going to use simplex LP as the solution method. Okay, I'm not going into the details because this allows us to get more information than the one that information we're going to explore here. But you can just use this method, and probably I'll create another playlist to explain this in more detail. And now we can solve. If we do that, what we expect Excel to do is to change the values I typed here before because it has found the value that optimizes this benefit in orange. So I solve it, okay, and I get this dialog for us to decide whether to key the solution for the solver, which I will do, and some other options. I'm going to skip that. So I accept, and this is my production plan. So these are my variables, this is my objective function, and actually I can see that the time needed is less or equal than the time required. I'm not violating any constraint, and the slack I have is non-negative, as it should be the case.